Good morning and welcome back. It's been a while. Jake's been busy. Busy. Today, what the heck's today? January 12th, southern Wisconsin. We have a shitstorm of a blizzard blowing in, and they weren't kidding this time. It's like, what is it, almost 7 o'clock? And there's already 4 to 5 inches on the ground, and it's supposed to get worse by even tomorrow. Blowing blizzard up to 13 inches at least, which probably isn't even close to comparable to some of the places that are going to get a lot more snow. But today I figured I'd got a little change of plans here in my life. I had an opportunity to kind of jump on a new vehicle other than this brand new vehicle. Something more suitable for what I wanted to begin with. So I kind of took the leap and did some financings, tweaked some stuff around, and I'm going to be stepping down off this Ford platform, and I don't think I'm ever going to return. And my new truck, you'll see my new truck in another video. More of a service truck. I got it so accustomed to running my tools around, and I need like a service truck. So that's what's happening later today, I think, depending on this weather. Pretty much this is going to be, I guess it'll be call it a 15,000 mile review. This truck is still pretty much brand new. It took so long to get. I mean, this video is really going to be about all the negatives and why I don't think I'll ever own another Ford again, and or at least do business with the people I did business with. You know, I don't hide behind the truth. Or I should say, I don't hide behind the lies. I'll tell you the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me, Jacob. So help me, God. There's so many cons over pros about this Lariat model F350 I got, and I don't even know where to begin. I feel like I got some time here. I might go on and rant a little bit. First thing, the service I had at this dealership, I'm sorry, but horseshit. Spending $70,000+ on a vehicle, I really don't care if somebody spends $70,000+ and $1 more than you did. When you're buying these kind of vehicles, you should be getting the fucking VIP treatment. And having waited over 10 months to get this truck when I was the first person at that dealership back in November of 22 to put my name on an order bank, and having to get it in frickin' September. I think it was September. And then finding out, what is it, January now, a couple weeks ago, that they already have 24 models rolling off the shelf and are being sold at that dealership. And higher end trim levels too. And or higher end heavy duty truck packages. That's bullshit. I really just don't give a shit about the supply chain or any of the above. That pisses me off, and I guarantee it, if it was a bigger dealership or if it was something different, if my name said Michaels on the back of it, the accommodation would be there 100%. And my salesman and everybody treated me fine. I think it's more of the logistics behind the fact. And you know what? If somebody stands behind Ford and they're selling their product and they're backing their product, then fucking do it. But I'm sorry, worst experience, not worst, but pretty bad experience. First time Ford buyer, probably last time Ford buyer. I had an alignment issue and it cost me $180, and I'm almost 100% sure the guys didn't do anything because the paperwork fucking said so, and the truck still does exactly what I brought it in to do. Garbage. Huge issue. The push button start on this truck is the one thing that starts the truck. You could say everything needs to work together to make it happen. Besides all these bullshit electronics, when it comes down to the nitty gritty, you don't need it. I don't know why they put a push button start on these these trucks. That's what they do, sure. But the push button start hadn't worked since I bought it. I could tell right away something was wrong. I waited, thought it'd break in, get a little better. Didn't happen. 4 weeks ago from this day, pretty much. 4 weeks ago, call it a month. I finally went in and said enough's enough. My freaking push button start does not work. You push it in, it doesn't release. I have to literally start this truck daily for months now with a knife. Stab it into the plastic and it works. It's not a joke. 4 weeks now. I still haven't got a phone call from Ford. I called 2 weeks ago to see what's going on. I really don't give a shit, again, about the supply chain and how much it cost. I just bought a premium truck and I waited a fucking year for it, I'll call it. 4 weeks now, nothing. You can't overnight a fucking push button start switch. That was kind of a tongue twister. You can't, like I said, I'm getting a little hot because this is why I'm getting rid of this truck after 4 months basically. And I got 15,000 miles on it. I drive a lot. Still no word from Ford. That is, I'm sorry, but that is absolutely bullshit. Again, probably never own another Ford in my life. That is awesome. I'll show you some other stuff. I can't really show you because it doesn't do it like instantly. The screen in this truck. The screen's gone out on me twice now. I've had to hard restart this truck twice. I've had to hard the screen of the screen going out. I've had to hard restart. Sorry. I've had to unhook the batteries 3 times now because of screen issues, 2 of which the screen just blacked out. The infotainment center, like everything runs off this truck or off the screen. 2 times I've had to hard reset this thing on the computer itself because the screen's freaking out. This truck's 4 months new and I'm already having them kind of electrical problems and have waited that long for these guys to basically dial the 23 model in. Again, garbage. Just garbage. We are literally going 20 miles an hour because it's snowing out. Perfect time to yell at you guys. What other cons? I know I kind of jumped right into this review. Cons, I think I said that right away. There's far more cons than pros. Again, I got the Lariat model, Lariat trim level. And just like, it's just one after the next. The one day I noted this thing did like an update, if you will, an update. And I noticed I had to turn the volume up a lot. Like if you have one of these trucks, 10 or 11 is pretty loud in this truck. And this doesn't have the Unleashed package. It just has the, whatever, the middle package. You got probably stock, middle, and then the Unleashed. It's got the middle one. I noticed now you have to turn it up to like 15, 16 volume to get some good sound out of it. Well, it was weeks on end, I just could tell something was wrong and minus having to turn the volume up. And finally, the one day, I don't know if I just had an air pocket in my head or what, but the whole right side of the truck wasn't playing sound. I could hear it. And I'm finally figured out part of a problem, called my Ford dealership, said, hey, something's happening and this is definitely a problem, minus all the screen problems I've had, and those should all be documented, well, half documented. Half the fucking speakers were playing. I did another battery reset finally on the truck. You know, unhook the negatives, let it sit a little bit. Started working again. This truck's so new yet, and I'm having some problems like you wouldn't believe. Like, when your screen goes out on you and you're just driving, you have no climate control functionality. You have no idea what's going on. The truck itself doesn't go crazy and drive stupid. but everything shuts down. You can't run your climate control, you can't run your stereo, you can't run your nav, you can't run any of the features on your truck, any of the settings. Like, these newer trucks these days, or vehicles that have these infotainment systems meshed into themselves, or meshed in with everything else, if that screen goes out, you're absolutely screwed. I guess I don't even know where to keep going. There's so many little things that drive me nuts. I've driven a newer vehicles. I've never owned one, so you don't like drive it habitually. All these sensors in this truck and all this, like, you have to push the brake in to push the start button. To start this truck in the morning, other than remote start, you have to push the brake in and hit the start button. Sure. Key ones do not do that. Especially on like heavy duty trucks where they're more of a work truck, they should be a little more user friendly. I don't know. This one's not. You have to like, I don't know, you have to like deliberately push the brake in like hard to get this thing in and out of gear. Mainly in gear, I guess. I don't know, I guess you get used to that. The thing tells you when you're, like, everything you do shows up on the freaking cluster. You're unhooked from a trailer, you're hooked up to a trailer. Oh, your camera's blocked. Oh, this is blocked. Oh, the cross traffic's off. Oh, this is, like, you can't even drive on a day-to-day basis without being blown up on the screen. I can't stand that. I hate that. That is so effing stupid. Some pros. We'll get to some pros. I love the heated seats. I love the remote start. Heated steering wheel is like fucking lava. Pardon my French. Awesome. Shitty part about that, you can set your seat, you can set the pedals, you can set the steering wheel off of the memory. But the heated seat function and the heated... Oh, Dad. Well, I guess I got a phone call. Stand by. All right. Where was I getting at? Oh, memory functions. You can set everything else. The heated seats and or AC seats and the heated steering wheel shut off every time you shut the truck off. The only thing that memorizes is if you have the heat or the vehicle heat on and the blower on, and then all your memory for your steering wheel, pedals, and seat. I don't get why they would leave out the two things you'd want along with heat in the morning for a memory function. That totally blows my mind. Oh, well, and the mirrors too, but sure, because that makes any sense at all when it's cold out. I live in Wisconsin. I want all that shit on hot when I start my truck up in the morning, because why not? That's what I paid thousands and thousands of extra dollars for. So not a huge deal, because you still got to go out when you get in your truck and push the push button start after you do the remote start. Otherwise you can't drive it. I don't know. Stupid feature. The one positive I wanted to add, and this could be personal stuff. This truck's still new. I'm not exactly sure. I've heard a lot of problems with guys on this 7.3, or I've heard a lot of guys having problems with this 7.3 gasser. Well, I think more of the problem is people suck, and it's not quite the motor. I feel like people, oh, it's got the 7.3, we can beat the crap out of it. It's a bigger motor, it's got more horsepower, it's this and that and the other. I got 15,000 miles on it. I've towed with it quite a bit already, and I've got a lot of highway miles on it already. I did an oil change at 3,000 miles for braking. I don't know if you're supposed to or not. That's what I freaking did, and I don't give a shit. I did another oil change at, I think, like 10,000. I'm using AMSOIL. I believe in AMSOIL. I'm a Wisconsin kid. They're a Wisconsin company. I have the 430 gears in this truck. I don't know. I think it's people beating the crap out of this. This is no speedy truck. It's got good highway miles, 13, 14 about. I think this transmission and truck are great. Again, it's still pretty fresh. It's still pretty new. I've heard of guys having like even transmission problems at 40,000 miles and this and that, and I have no idea. Between the motor and the tranny, I think it works fine. So I'll give Ford that. I'll give them props to that. I wish they'd make, you know, somebody would dabble into some turbos for this thing instead of going straight to a supercharger kit. But maybe it's just, I don't know the logistics behind that kind of shit. But again, this truck ain't no snappy. It's not, you know, oh, I got a big new Ford, it's fast. No, it's got the 430 gears. This thing is four-wheel drive. It doesn't just get up and go. I mean, it'll get up and go, but you know what I mean? It's not like something that's got like 370 gears or something like that, you know, 355s and shit like that. Those are definitely going to be probably snappier. Probably maybe a little better for short tows. But yeah, I'll give Ford that. I think the motor is awesome. I think the tranny's awesome so far. Again, I don't beat on my stuff like most people do. Especially when you got guys that get into these trucks and, oh, I can just tow all day long and just beat the living shit out of it. If you're towing a lot and beating on it, get a diesel. That's what they're literally designed for. But again, that's you do what you want when you want, you know, with your own stuff. So props to Ford for that. I'll say I think I like this setup so far. That's another thing that pisses me off. When you're making phone calls and shit and doing like what I just did, running in circles like an idiot, this phone will connect, will disconnect, will connect, will disconnect, will connect, will disconnect. What the fuck? Pardon my French again, but stupid. You got the upfitter switches on here. I wish Ford would put like, I don't know, 6-8 inches worth of wire coming out of the frickin' upfitter switch box. They're probably 2 inches, 3 inches long. That's horse shit. Put some extra wire on there. It's not that hard. it's not that hard. Well, that's a wrap. Time to get rid of this thing. Well, give her a quick walk around again. Here she is in her stock form. It was fun for a few months, but there's just, I'm sorry, there's just too many negatives, far too many more negatives than positives. And this other truck I'm getting into is just, it'll be a lot better for my needs. I never thought I'd be a Chevy guy. So maybe the other half of my friend group will like me now because I'm getting a GMC. So yeah, we'll see. This thing didn't work out. Hopefully somebody else can take care of it, and I'm sure it won't take long to sell. But for me, it's not awesome. I'm not happy. Plain and simple. I really don't care who I piss off. If you get pissed off, good for you. I didn't know I needed your permission. It's just like, you know, I don't know, things happen. I don't hate anybody for it. I'm just changing this thing up, and I think the next thing I get into will be just, again, it'll be a lot better for what I need. So we'll send the old 23.4 down the road with 15,000 miles on it, and hopefully somebody else will put a few more on and not have any problems. But that'll be hopefully in a few hours. That won't be my problem. So I wanted to add this too. Like I don't have enough negative stuff going for me already on this video. Or negative going for this truck, not me. The Apple CarPlay. I love the feature, but it's the most like unintuitive thing I've ever dealt with, because 8, maybe 9 out of 10 times it'll auto connect. It'll do its thing. Awesome, great. The other 2 or 1 out of 10 times, you literally cannot get it to connect at all. Stop. You can go in reverse. You can do a friggin' backflip. It won't connect at all. Airplane mode, reset your phone, kind of like go on and off and this and that, and like there's 2 or 3 different ways of trying to connect on the truck itself. It does not connect. It won't connect. And then you'll be driving along, it'll just connect. I don't know who's got them algorithms figured out and how that technology like corresponds with itself and works together, but it's absolutely preposterous. 1 million. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's absolute garbage. And again, it's just more money you spend on this stuff, the more little things that happen. All them little things add up. It's fact. That's how it works. And, you know, I don't get it. And the shitty part about it, too, is unless I'm stupid, which that's debatable, to try and disconnect from the Apple CarPlay, I feel like is extremely difficult, especially when you're like driving down the road. And I haven't had anybody sit me down and go through this thing literally. You know, you only get so much when you're at the, you know, when the salesman's giving you the keys, and, you know, that's months and years and weeks ago and so on and so forth. But the CarPlay, you know, I get it. I like it because I'd rather run Google Maps than the navigation that's installed on these things. Any manufacturer, I like Google Maps. And when it can pull up and show up and pull up on your screen from your phone, awesome. But when you can't get out of it, or it doesn't connect when you need it to, and that seems to be the problem, the biggest problem. When you need it to work, it doesn't work, which is rare. But if it doesn't work all the time, then what the hell is the point? That's the whole point of it, is to work all the time and be compatible. I don't know if I've got the lemon truck or what. I can't be the only one. So I just remembered this, excuse me. I wanted to add this. This is part of like the infotainment system and how it all works together. The backup camera, awesome. I think Ford's got one of the best with all the little features and the, you know, you get the higher trim levels, all the 360 camera and all this BS. A lot of it's pretty sweet. But a problem I would have probably once every few weeks is when you're backing up, the camera, like, so the camera screen will show, it'll pull up, it always does. But like the features, the zoom button or like the extra different camera angles, like, doesn't work. The only thing that works is the backup camera. So a huge feature that Ford has integrated in their backup cameras is the zoom feature for hooking up trailers. I use it a lot. Like, that's like probably one of the best features on that truck. That zoom, and the camera clarity is pretty awesome, but the zoom feature, 9 out of 10 times when I go to freaking back up, the screen will change, you know, put it in reverse, it'll, you know, backup camera will show up on the screen, but there's no extra, you can't access any of the features of the backup camera. It's like, I don't get it. I don't know. I think there's a demon inside that computer in this truck, and I would totally have thought almost a year-long wait and them have dialed in that truck and how long it took and all the problems and software issues they have. Again, I think I got a lemon, and yeah, I wanted to add that to it because, like I said, infotainment system and all that stuff like works together. So if there's some lost coding or some lost something in that computer system that works with the entire truck, and especially through the infotainment system, like I said, I think it's just a ticking time bomb for that thing to just, somebody's gonna buy it and, you know, it's gonna be lemon lawed. I think it is, and yeah, I wanted to add that. I think that was it about the camera stuff and the infotainment system, but I just thought of it and I wanted to add that to the video. Not that I need to add a bunch of extra more negatives, but that's kind of what this video is big reasons why I got rid of that truck. So as I'm sitting here mashing this video together, another thing popped up. It's another negative. The e-brake on this thing, it's electronic. The e-brake goes on and off at free will. Not when you're driving, but when you park, you don't have to be behind anything. Usually, if you're hooking up to a trailer, it'll automatically set it. It must be with the camera or their sensors. It'll automatically set the e-brake, which I think that's kind of stupid because you as the user should be able to set the e-brake when and, you know, when you want to, how you want to. But this thing, I'll just like park it one day somewhere, and the e-brake, you'll hear it. You can like hear it. It's like loud. Like, just randomly will set the e-brake, and you'll be like doing stuff, and then you'll like hear it. You'll hear it disengage, and then you'll hear it engage, and it's just like the randomness of the e-brake is pretty wild. And then sometimes when you're hooking up to a trailer, it won't work. Most of the time it does, because it'll, like I said, it'll sense it. But other times it won't work. And just like, oh, and then you have to push the brake in to disengage the e-brake. Where I think you can just push it to engage it, but to disengage the e-brake, you have to push the brake in and then push the button. Like, I don't know, it just seems like there's so many unintuitive features that aren't really user-friendly when it comes down to it. So yeah, added that to this video as well. Hey, I'm just trying to end my videos with maybe some talking instead of just cutting it short. I appreciate you guys if you stuck around. I know this is a lengthy video. I'm really trying to emphasize and express my feelings for this truck I had. Hope this somewhat review, sees the light. Ford, if you're listening, well, do just that and listen and take notes. You know, I'm one guy out of the vast world of people, but it only takes one time, and I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure you just lost a customer for life as far as my personal expenses go. So I love you guys. Be good. Stay safe. Catch me on the next one. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.